Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing a small garden update, few garden chores, and planting a few seeds. Today is September 7th. My name is Diane. Let's take a quick look and get these chores done. Today I'm going to cover over my Georgia collards and so that the white butterfly won't get them and to lay eggs for those little green worms. So that's what I am working on right now. Also going to do a little bit of a cleanup of the cucumber plant and the cherry tomato over there. That ag fab. So putting that ag fabric bag over the collards will protect them from the white butterfly, and hopefully I'll get a good harvest on these collards. Next I'm going to tackle the cucumber that needs to be ripped out, as well as a couple of tomato plants. You're going to see me wearing a mask and gloves. Got to protect my immune system. I do have a compromised immune system because of the multiple myeloma, and with all the spores and all of that, that can really affect me negatively. So that's why you'll see me wearing a mask. I'm supposed to always be wearing a mask in the garden, but I don't do it all the time. But in these particular plants, they had powdery mildew and different type of spore diseases. So just trying to protect myself. Let me go ahead and tackle that. I've removed all of the fruits that's usable from the tomato plant. There's nothing really on the cucumber plant. So let's get into it. So that takes care of the cucumber and the tomato. That was the super sweet 100 tomato. I am going to tackle the Kellogg's breakfast plant. I've already taken off the tomatoes and I'll show those to you. But let me go ahead and tackle that. So in addition to the Kellogg's breakfast plant that I have removed, I'm going to also take out two of the other tomato plants that I have removed the fruits. They're done. It's September 7th. It's time. I'm leaving one of the plant for maybe later on in the week, so that a few of the fruits that are on the plant will ripen up or even start turning. Once I see that they have started turning and the color, then I will remove them and take out the plant. So let's get those two out, and then I'll show you the fruits that I've removed from those plants. So I am leaving this plant in place until these few tomatoes start ripening, maybe a couple of days, and then I'll take out this plant. So I've taken out 3 of the 4 tomato plants, and now hopefully the peppers will get a chance to ripen up. Look at all those peppers. That is the Carmen pepper. So many fruits. Green. More light will come in and they'll be able to ripen. And this is the giant Marconi back here. Not sure what ate this off, but hopefully they'll start ripening up. Look at all the bees that's enjoying the sedum. This is the time of year for the bees to enjoy this plant. Also, this volunteer tomato, I now know what it is. It is a black creme, and I don't like this tomato. I don't like the variety of this tomato. It is a black creme. This is the other volunteer tomato that's in this bed over here by the spaghetti squash, and it is turning color, but I still don't know what it is. Still a mystery to me. So hopefully we'll be able to enjoy it. And one last thing with regards to the spaghetti squash, I did inquire in one of my Facebook group, gardening group, and they said just to leave them on the vine until the vine completely dies. That even though the vine is dying, the spaghetti squash will still ripen, even if it's off the vine. So that's a good, that's promising. Couple of other quick updates. I have a zucchini. Yay! First one from this plant. Well, my only zucchini plant. First one. But I have a zucchini. Also, look at all the color on the pumpkin spice jalapeno. It's beautiful. One last thing in terms of the updates. Look at this overwintered pepper plant. I mean, we harvest from it daily and it is just going nuts. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful things. These peppers needs to be harvested. Quick update. The Sugar Rush peach peppers are finally getting that peach color. I have removed the bush beans that were in this spot. There were 2 bush beans. I've removed the bush beans, but I'm leaving the roots intact, just so that I can, it can retain the nitrogen. Because as you know, beans and any legumes, they are nitrogen fixers. So I'm going to leave the roots in there, and I'm going to scratch in some arugula. All right, so that I can have some leafy greens. Now this in particular, it says it takes 7 to 10 days to germinate, and it should be planted 6 weeks before the frost for fall, the first frost of fall. But this is a cold weather crop, so I'm not too concerned about not getting it to maturity, because you can always harvest it as baby greens. So I'm going to scratch some of this in so that this space is not left too empty. Of course, the green onions are going to stay as well. I'm going to sew them thick and just scratch them in. Not too thick, but thick enough. I'm just going to spread them out. When they come up, I'll be able to cut them for mini greens. Just scratch them in. Scratch them in. I'm gonna water them in. You know, we have had rain for the past couple of days. Of course, I'm gonna have to water these in. Now that's that. I'm gonna turn my attention over here to this spot. So I did in early August planted out some spinach and daikon radishes. I think it was too hot in this area and there was not enough moisture for the spot. But what I do have is some basil that's been languishing in the little nursery container that I started them in. I'm going to put them over here so that we can have some basil to for end of season, stuff. So let me work on that. All right, let me put some chicken wire over this area so that those squirrels and whoever else won't go messing with these seeds that I've just sown. So chicken wire goes right there. They can't go planting anything in that spot. Okay, now let me turn to this other pot over here. So here are the basil seedlings that's been in this thing forever. They're probably bonsai by now. But let's get them in here. What is this? What is this? More sunflowers? Eee. And then of course I have the Swiss chard here. Do need to harvest this. I keep saying that, but I have to check it to make sure it doesn't have any white flies and all that. So let's go ahead and break this up and put this basil in here. Let's see. Anyway, basil can be planted real close, so I'm not too concerned about that. Hopefully we'll have enough. This will give me enough basil to make some caprese salad. Let's just break it up in two. I'm gonna put one here and one over here. Let me get a little bit of fertilizer for that. So a little bit there, a little bit over there, and I'm just gonna work it in. I'm going to go ahead and water these in. It has been challenging trying to keep these pots moisturized. I did not put the oil in this pot. There's oil in this one, but it has been really challenging. But now that I've cleaned up the cucumber and the tomato plant, I'll be able to use those smaller ones, put them in here to keep this pot somewhat somewhat hydrated. All right, let's water it in. Okay, let's go ahead and water in my arugula. And these mosquitoes are relentless. Oh my God. So here's everything that I harvested. These are the Kellogg's breakfast beefsteak, and I did harvest those yesterday, Saturday the 6th. Today I harvested this cucumber, these hot peppers, the tomatoes that you saw. I was cutting the plants back, as well as these little cherries as well. So that's all that I have harvested, and I have plenty more harvesting to do as the jalapenos are still producing, and of course my sweet peppers have not starting to ripen. I'm talking about the Carmen and the Escamilla, as well as the Ajversky and the Giant Marconi. Those have not ripened as yet, but of course I'll keep you posted. Hopefully by the end of the month we should have everything wrapped up. All right, so thank you for watching my video. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel to help me grow. Bye for now.